Hey there! Today let's dive into the captivating debate of whether it's better to buy or lease a car. It's a topic that stirs up passionate arguments on both sides. On one hand, purchasing a car outright grants you complete ownership and tends you to be more cost-effective in the long haul. On the flip side, leasing offers the allure of lower monthly payments and the joy of cruising around in a shiny new vehicle. As I delved into the nitty-gritty details and crunched the numbers, I uncovered some eye-opening revelations about the discrepancies between what car dealerships push and the truly cheapest option. So join me in this video as we uncover the secrets behind the 4 primary methods of acquiring a car, determine which one will save you the most money, and delve into the psychological factors that should sway your decision. Welcome to Flourish in Fortune, your gateway to unlocking the life filled with prosperity and fulfillment. First, let's embark on a journey to understand the different ways you can make that dream car yours. The first method is the traditional approach of buying a car outright, where you proudly hand over the full payment upfront and claim complete ownership from day one. It's a straightforward path to car ownership. The second avenue is through financing, commonly known as hire purchase in the UK. This route resembles a personal loan, where you provide a deposit, borrow the remaining amount at a fixed interest rate, typically over 3 years, and repay the loan through monthly installments. Once you've completed the agreed item, voila, the car is yours to keep. Next, let's explore the fascinating world of leasing. Imagine it as an automotive version of renting. With this option, you pay monthly fees to enjoy the pleasures of driving a car, but at the end of the contract, you return the vehicle. The calculations for monthly payments in leasing differ slightly from those in financing, as you only pay for the portion of the car's value that it loses during the lease term, along with additional fees. Last but not least, we have the popular choice known as PCP or Personal Contract Purchase. Car dealerships often enthusiastically endorse this option, as it proves most profitable for them. However, it may not always align with your best interests when viewed from a total cost perspective. PCP involves setting a term for the agreement, paying a deposit, and receiving a final value estimation for the car at the contract's end. By subtracting this value from the car's cost, you determine the loan amount and subsequent monthly payments. At the contract's conclusion, you're presented with various choices: keep the car and settle the final balance, return the car, or utilize the final value to part exchange for a newer model. Now that we've dissected the fundamental options, let's dive into the intriguing realm of financial implications and costs associated with each approach. To make an apples-to-apples comparison, let's consider an average medium-sized family car, like an Audi, with a 15% deposit and a 3-year term. With financing, assuming the deposit and an interest rate hovering around 11%, your monthly payments would amount to £810. At the end of the contract, the total price paid for the car would be just under £34,000, granting you full ownership. Should you decide to sell the car at that point, market analysis suggests a potential value of around £16,000. Consequently, the approximate cost of having the car for 3 years would be around £17,500. Shifting our focus to leasing, employing the same deposit, you'll enjoy considerably lower monthly payments, averaging at £345. This significant difference stems from only repaying the portion of the car's value that depreciates during the lease term, without any added interest. Therefore, having the car for 3 years via leasing would cost you approximately £17,000. However, it's worth noting that the option to purchase the car at the contract's end is not guaranteed, and the dealer's offer will only be disclosed in the lease's final months. By the way, I would love to hear your thoughts and insights in the comment section below. Share your experiences, ask questions, or suggest topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. Your input is invaluable in shaping our content to best serve your needs. Now back to the video. Let's not forget the ever-popular PCP, which car dealerships actively advocate. However, it's essential to approach it cautiously and consider the overall cost. With the same deposit and a predetermined car value of £15,000 at the end of the contract, your monthly payment, based on an interest rate of just under 11%, would amount to £453. If you opt to return the car at the contract's conclusion, having it for 3 years would cost you approximately £21,000. Alternatively, if you choose to retain the car and settle the final balance of £15,000, the total expense would reach £36,000. Taking these numbers into account, we can observe that if you decide to return the car at the end of the PCP contract, leasing would have been the more cost-effective option, saving you nearly £4,000. Car dealerships favor PCP due to its lucrative nature, as it encourages you to stick with them and upgrade your vehicle when the contract concludes. They might even tweak the numbers by offering dealer contributions or adjusting the deposit to nudge you toward PCP. However, it's crucial to analyze the car's total cost as a whole and evaluate other factors. Now, let's explore the question of the cheapest option. If you have the means, purchasing the car outright for £30,000 and subsequently selling it for £16,000 after 3 years would be the most economical route. This choice would amount to a mere £14,000 for 3 years of car ownership. Nevertheless, it's important to consider the opportunity cost of tying up £30,000 in a vehicle. Instead, you could invest that capital in assets such as the S&P 500 or other cash-generating avenues, potentially yielding a higher return compared to the added cost of financing. Apart from financial considerations, there are psychological factors to weigh. If you tend to keep your cars for extended periods, the higher purchase route might suit you best. Once you've paid off the car, you can bid farewell to the stress of monthly payments and revel in full ownership, granting you the freedom to customize and drive to your heart's content. However, bear in mind that maintenance costs tend to accumulate over time. On the flip side, leasing or PCP enable you to indulge in newer vehicles with lower monthly payments, allowing you to change cars more frequently without worrying about selling them or ongoing maintenance expenses. Provided you trade in the car before the warranty expires, typically around the 3-year mark, you can avoid these costs. However, it's essential to maintain the car in impeccable condition to avoid additional charges upon return. Keep in mind that both leasing and PCP come with restrictions regarding modifications and mileage, with excess mileage incurring additional costs. In my opinion, if you possess the necessary funds, purchasing a car outright represents a solid option, free from the burden of monthly payments. However, if you're not confident in flipping cars for a profit, buying a pre-owned vehicle that has already undergone substantial depreciation might prove the wiser choice. Financially speaking, leasing may emerge as the cheapest option based on your circumstances. Nonetheless, it's vital to assess the total cost and consider the opportunity cost of immobilizing a significant sum of money in a car. Lastly, psychological factors such as your car-keeping habits and desire for flexibility should also play a role in determining the optimal choice for you. I hope this analysis equips you with the necessary insights to make an informed decision when purchasing your next car. Now that we've explored the different ways to purchase a car, I'm curious to hear from you. How have you bought your current car, or how are you planning to purchase your next one? Comment below and share your thoughts. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Flourish in Fortune for regular doses of prosperity tips, success stories, and actionable advice, so you can take charge of your destiny and unlock a life of abundance and fulfillment. Remember, your flourishing future starts here.